Lakers, nah. Golden State Warriors is where it's at. Curry, Thompson, Green, they're the best players. I don't know about no Lakers. Golden State Warriors fans, where you at?
What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? What the fuck is this video, bro? Lakers, nah. Golden State Warriors where it's at, baby. Hey. What's good, Joe? Welcome back to another video on the channel. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute since I've done these. I can only react to so many NBA TikToks, and I honestly wanted to stockpile some good ones for these videos, but we back, baby. We back. Look, man, when I started this series, TikTok was a platform where I honestly never thought I'd ever be like fully committed to and but the past 6 months has been in my regular rotation up there with Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and all those other platforms. And as with any platform, man, there's going to be a section for basketball and NBA content, NBA takes. And on this series, we try to, you know, look at some of them and give my reaction.
Lakers.
Just a disclaimer for the rest of the video, though, we're just talking about basketball, you know what I'm saying? All love to all these creators I show on the screen. Make sure to follow me on TikTok as well, at @bsouls_. But let's get into these takes, bro. Let's get into these takes.
Russell Westbrook's not even a top 40 player in the NBA. He's not even a top 15 player at his position. I'm going to clarify that statement one.
Oh my God, bro. All right, I need to hear more.
And one time only. I am not talking about pure strength, talent, athleticism, skill set. No, of course not. Then you would say Russell Westbrook's a top 5 point guard. I'm talking about building a championship team around the player and around the team. So like a guy for Ricky Rubio, for example, I could build a lot more championship teams around a guy like Ricky Rubio because he doesn't have to be the number 1 or number 2 option, plus his contract's better, plus I think he's a better, more portable player that would facilitate the ball at a much higher and more efficient rate than a guy.
Hold up, did he just bring up his contract, bro?
A guy like Russell Westbrook. I'm not sitting here saying that Russell Westbrook is a worse basketball player than Ricky Rubio. That's blasphemous. But to go here and say that Russell Westbrook is going to be a championship contender on my team as a number 1 or number 2 option is absolutely incorrect. And that's not my point. I would take other guys and I would build a better team around them than I would with Russell Westbrook.
Honestly, I kind of get where he's coming from, right? Like if you have a fantasy draft, not a draft just about statistics. Let's say it's 2K. Let's say it's 2K. There are a lot of combinations as far as what my first 2 picks would be that don't include Russell Westbrook. I get that. Like me personally, I would never have Russell Westbrook as my first option. And so now if we're talking about my second option, I'm looking at a Chris Middleton before I look at a Russell Westbrook. I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking at a Bradley Beal before I look at Russell Westbrook. I'm looking at Bradley Beal as my first before Russell Westbrook. But you get my point. You get my point. I'd stretch it to players like Domantas Sabonis and Malcolm Brogdon at that point, if we're just looking at my second option. Honestly, I think it was just the wording you had for your initial video that triggered a lot of fans. You said that Russell Westbrook is not a top 40 NBA player, not top 15 in this position. That's what you said. I don't know, the whole thing about Russell Westbrook, I've kind of just accepted the fact that Russell Westbrook is a better floor raiser than a lot of players in the league. At least, you know, he should be. He is in a role this year where he's supposed to raise the floor and he's barely doing it, but that's neither here nor there. Like, even still, if I had a bunch of scrubs and I wanted a point guard to lead my team and kind of do like a carry job, I'd rather have Russell Westbrook over Drew Holiday. And honestly, looking at the players on the list, I think it kind of stops there, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Russ is looking suspect this year, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't wanna make this a bash on Russ video, but that's tough. I can't name any more than this. Okay, CJ McCollum. Okay, between Russell Westbrook and CJ McCollum, if I had a bunch of scrubs, even right now, I would lean towards Russell Westbrook on my team as a first option, doing that carry job, rather than CJ McCollum. Same thing with Pascal Siakam. That's another name to put on that list. But Russell Westbrook is a player that's best utilized as a first option. And if he's a second or third option, there are just so many other players you can choose over him. And we just kind of have to accept that. We just kind of have to accept that.
Kevin Durant is the best basketball player in the world. Let me explain.
This better be good, bro.
Kevin Durant is more valuable than LeBron James. Not of all time. I'm talking about right now.
I ain't never heard the argument for KD being a more valuable player than LeBron. All I've heard ever is LeBron James being more valuable than any other player in history. I've even made that claim, so I'm interested. I'm invested. I am invested.
If you replace LeBron with a guy like Kelly Oubre on the Lakers are definitely still title contenders. If you do that with the Nets are 100% a first-round exit without KD.
What? This was posted after the Harden trade, right? Yeah, I just looked it up right here. The James Harden trade was on January 14th.
Yes.
This was on January 19th. So you mean to tell me a team with Kyrie Irving and James Harden, you take KD off and they're barely a playoff team? Number one, if they can't make the playoffs, this says a lot about James Harden and Kyrie, honestly. But number two, obviously, when you trade away all your depth for a superstar like James Harden, so you can have a big three of Kyrie, James Harden, and KD, losing one of those pieces is gonna hurt like a... It is. That's like the Lakers trading all of Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and all of those picks for Anthony Davis. And then Anthony Davis is injured. No, they're going to be really bad without Anthony Davis.
KD has owned LeBron these past 3 or 4 years. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, KD was on the Warriors. Well, LeBron had Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. Don't want to hear it.
Don't want to hear it. You ain't going to mention what KD had? Steph, Clay, Draymond, one of the deepest benches in the league. I know they lost a lot in 2016 when they signed KD, but they still had some really solid pieces. Arguably the best coach in the league. Ain't gonna mention that? Okay. But honestly, going back to his value point, if you take away LeBron from the Lakers, I honestly believe that that's gonna be drastically more impactful on the Lakers than it is for the Nets losing KD. I'm gonna be honest. Because LeBron is the Lakers' main facilitator. He is their closer. And even still, LeBron is still one of their best perimeter defenders. He sets the culture of that team. He sets the culture of the whole NBA. Meanwhile, KD, again, a very talented player. But I'm gonna be honest, in terms of who sets the tone for the Nets, I'm giving that title to Kyrie and James Harden. I ain't gonna lie. Also, I just noticed, but he said if LeBron wasn't on the Lakers would still be title contenders. If LeBron wasn't on the Lakers, they are not better than the Clippers. They're not better than the Nuggets. Without LeBron, I'm not sure if I'm taking them over the Utah Jazz. That's, yo, this take is insane.
I'm confused.
Oh man, this got a lot of likes. It's about Jordan. It's about LeBron. It can't be an NBA TikTok react video if this debate isn't in it. But let's see what he has to say.
Who was Mike's comp in the East? The Pacers? If he was winning the whole time, what happened to the first 7 years? Didn't he lose 3 straight years to little Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons? He never beat Larry Bird in a playoff game? Wasn't even the best defender on his team. Maybe not even the second best. How you feel about Rodman? He tried to come back from baseball. Penny and Shaq ate his lunch. Who was the comp at his position? Clyde Drexler? John Starks? Jeff Hornacek? Dan Marley? I like Reggie, but is he even Klay Thompson? Dude was a ball hog. Hakeem would have gave him work if he ain't run like a little pussy.
Okay, this is one thing that I really thought it would have stopped after last year, especially last year, because we saw the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron face a team like the Heat. You know what I'm saying? And in hindsight, you can look back, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, that's LeBron's comp. But we know for a fact that especially with how they were playing in that playoff run, that they were a much better team that met the eye. And LeBron fans always want to tell me, but B-Soul 6-0 doesn't really matter because this is a team sport. Then why is it that we talk about LeBron's comp and we talk about the Indiana Pacers, the New York Knicks, hell, even the Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic with Shaq and Penny, somehow, some way, that whole narrative just goes away. That whole notion of a team sport just goes away. That team could win 55, 60 games in a tough conference, and it wouldn't mean because they didn't have the superstar like a Kawhi Leonard or a Kobe Bryant or a Tim Duncan on that team. But I thought it's a team sport. I thought it's a team sport. Y'all told me that. Y'all told me it's a team sport. Also, to simplify the Isaiah Thomas Pistons, the bad boy Pistons, it's just little Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons is absolutely insane. That is absolutely insane. You just brought up Dennis Rodman at the end of the video, and now he's a defensive player of the year caliber player. Fun fact, the only defensive player of the year he won was when he was on Detroit. on the Pistons with Isaiah Thomas. We're not even talking about Isaiah Thomas himself. We're not talking about Joe Dumars. Comping his position, by the way, in a really good two-way player, won a Finals MVP, has 2 rings. I haven't even brought up Adrian Dantley / Mark Aguirre and Bill Laimbeer and the great Chuck Daly. To simplify that whole era, that whole team of the bad boy Pistons is just little old Isaiah Thomas is absolutely insane. And talking about Penny and Shaq, I ain't gonna lie, Jordan fans really do make a lot of excuses for Jordan's loss in 95, but you didn't mention how Jordan, the year after, eliminated the Magic. Didn't really bring that up. Didn't really bring that up as well when you were bashing the East and the competition Michael Jordan had when Shaq is a top 10, arguably top 5 player of all time. Didn't really bring that up. But that's neither here nor there. I don't want to make this a whole LeBron MJ video. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis.
What the f- I don't even want to waste your time, bro. Hey, if y'all like this video, make sure to leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure to follow me on TikTok, bsouls_. But that's going to be it for this one, man. Deuces. Hey, hey, hey.